How you doing?
First off, I gotta say, you don't look like the typical police officer with the tattoos and all that.
Yeah, no, it's a bad habit. Started young. Yeah, my chief hates it.
He does?
Oh, yeah.
Does he make you cover him up?
There's a new policy in place because of me. Very proud of that.
Setting rules. Well, tell us about your story and when you were at the low point.
Yeah, suicide among cops is something that's it's not talked about enough, I don't think. And I guess it's because if you live in a violent city and you deal with it every day, you get kind of, you live in this dark world, and it really sucked me in for quite a few years. I had a big-time battle with depression and suicide, and finally got to that point where that was it.
How long had you been a cop?
I've been there 13 years, and this is going back probably about 6 or 7 years in.
Right, so you had some years in on the force.
Yeah, yeah. What had happened was I finally decided that this was it. There was a couple little things, little triggers that needed to happen, and that was going to, for me, I wrote out a suicide note. Very, very specific plan on how I wanted to end my own life. And then one night, it was crazy because I'm sitting there in my squad car, I'm going over this plan, literally in my head, like rerunning it in my head, focusing. I'm literally like at my lowest point because I knew it was going to be very, very soon. I just remember tears just shooting out of my eyes, and I'm going over this in my head, and I look over, and there's this lady walking towards my squad car. And I kind of get mad at first, because I don't want to be bugged. I'm here. I'm at the end. So she makes a beeline right. She knocks on my window, and I roll my window down just enough to wipe my tears away and look up at her. And she hands me this cross with a bracelet. And she...
And that changed everything.
She said the words to me that I'll never forget. She says, "You need to have this." And then she turned around, walked away with no explanation or nothing. So it was, I mean, 100%. That's when the Lord showed up.
And now Matt is helping others, and let's take a look at how he's doing that.
Father's business is it's an outreach that we started in the city of Zion. We pretty much just bring kids that might otherwise be doing other things in the street or hanging out every Friday night. Mostly we're made up of fatherless kids. And I didn't realize I was going to become the adopted father of hundreds of kids, but it's what I live for.
I have 4 kids that go here, and I think it's important for everyone to get, have their kid to come here to get off the streets and to give them something to wind down.
I like coming here on Friday because so I can play basketball and have fun.
We let them play basketball or play video games or just run around. Sometimes they play football in the parking lot. Then we break them and we make sure everybody eats. We break down, we call it halftime, which is the main thing that we do here. It's the main reason. This is where we have a lesson every week.
Each and every one of you young men and young women in here have a choice. I tell my son this.
Let them know that there's so much more than what they see in front of them. And ask for an umbrella for protection as they go home, and then they come back next week. Lord, we love you. We thank you for giving us life. When they see it, a lot of them don't know that this is a cop, that it's a cop that's actually running this. So a lot of them come, they won't even shake my hand when they get here. So it's my goal by the end of the night, they're giving me a hug, show them legitimate love.
Matt is one of the coolest people in the world. He's like a dad to me, so I'm sure that's how a lot of people here feel.
We're taught to not be vulnerable. From the minute you become a cop, you don't be vulnerable. But I like to break that stereotype. I'll be here for you. Need something, I'll come get you in my own car on my own time. I don't have to get paid to do it.
I really recommend this. This is a good way to get you out of the streets, keep you out of harm's way.
He changed his life around, and he made me want to change my life around, and he put a smile on everybody's face.
He's one of the greatest people I know, and he's a nice person.
Can't even hug your dad? He wanted to hug me until about a year ago. Now look at him, look at him. These are all my babies. And these kids are so wonderful. And I'll do this until my last breath on earth. I'll never stop doing this.
And you are so instrumental in the lives of these kids that you can't even like afford not to be there because something happened when you weren't there?
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I was out of town. My sister was out of town. A couple of kids that got shot that night. So we just feel that we can never. We will do everything that we can to have it every Friday. We can't. We got to get them. We got to get them in there.
Right, and get them off the streets. Well, we want to do something for you and to help you, and we know that you feed 200 kids roughly every Friday. So one local Chicagoland Subway is providing sandwiches for each of your kids.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. And Subway, do you? I had it yesterday too. Subway's Mediterranean collection is now available at participating restaurants.
Yeah, and one of our staff members heard about the great work that you're doing, and he's also donating a $100 Visa gift card to your organization as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And I have to say, from someone who, you know, I lost a brother to suicide, and G lost her father to suicide. So it shows you how prevalent it is, and thank you that you did not do that and you're helping others.
Yes.
Thank God.
Thank God for that angel.
If you know someone battling depression or suicidal thoughts, please go to our website, windycitylive.com, for ways to get help. You can also find more info on my father's business on our website.